Hi, I'm Kevin,
And I'm Ashley.
and this is the Valley Exchange, a podcast about selling on eBay. And this is episode 9. How has business been this week, Ashley?
So it's been okay.
Yeah,
Our sales have definitely gone back up since we went on vacation.
which is nice.
Not a ton, but like enough that I'm okay with it. We're averaging over $100 a day again.
Yeah, which is good.
So yay.
We had that great $250 day, I think was 2 days ago. 280?
I think it was 280. It was it was 287.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was yesterday. So I was expecting it to be like slow, but it was one of our best days ever.
Mm-hmm.
And we did have auctions then, but we didn't sell very many auctions, and I wasn't expecting to because we started them so high.
But we did have that other Star Wars box, which sold for $60.
Correct. So we finally sold that one, so that was awesome. And we sold like 10 auctions, I want to say.
Yeah, we had those shoes that were like $50. What kind of shoes were those?
Oh, yeah, the Nike, they're called running boots. They're all weather. They're really cool. That's the second pair I sold. I found 2 pairs new.
Cool.
So, and I've sold both of them.
Is it with like clothes and shoes, if something's like more durable material, like it's all weather or it's like that firefighter jacket we have, does that usually sell better than the other stuff? Or
I mean, we've sold that stuff, but I think it more depends on brand.
yeah. So you want it, say, to look for something resistant or weatherproof or anything like that.
Right. No, I just think it's brand. And that was a Nike brand, or New Balance, I want to say. New Balance. So they were really nice.
Okay.
Yeah. But I did pay a lot for them, but we sold them for quite a bit. Mm-hmm. So I was happy to sell them. Definitely glad our sales are going up.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's nice to, see that rise again after we had that dip for our vacation.
But for sure.
To be expected.
It's definitely getting better. I've just been working, but we've had crazy week.
You started to implement the new organization system you were talking about last week.
Correct. I haven't finished it.
Half done, maybe?
A quarter.
Okay.
A quarter if I'm lucky. Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot of time because you have to pull every item and change the SKU number of where it's kept at. Mm-hmm. And so I'm having to pull every single one and revise, multiple listings to do that, not just put it in a different bin.
But I noticed when I went to help you ship something, was that today? I think it was. Yeah, it just was easier because it was all like prepackaged and we just grabbed it, threw it in.
Yeah. Did you notice that I wrapped you into shipping 2 days in a row?
I didn't. You did?
Yeah. Oh. Yesterday you went to FedEx. Right?
Oh yeah, that's true.
And today I had you pull things.
Oh man,
we were in a hurry.
Yep.
So good job.
Do I get an award?
No.
Oh.
You're working your way towards one.
There we go.
But no, it's nice that now you can go out and I'll be like, it's in this bin. Just look for this number or letter.
Yeah, because sometimes I just don't know the brands as well as you do.
You don't have to know the brand. You just have to know the color.
Well, see, that's just it. I just have a hard time. Anyway. I'm not colorblind. It's just I have a hard time sometimes making sure that this is the item you want, and I'll bring it in and be like, no, that's not it.
Right, and you can't be wrong because it literally says on it the number that's in the SKU. So it says like A3.
Yeah.
If you pull A3, it's the right one.
Yeah, so I look for the color, and then once I found one I think is it, I check the number on the bag, and I'm good to go.
Yeah, it is really nice. I was shipping the other day, and I had sold a couple of things that I had done that with, and I was like, oh, this is so much better. You literally grab a poly mailer, shove it inside another poly mailer, and you're done.
Yeah.
Like,
it's really
I don't
fast,
have to fold
easy.
it. I don't have to make it look good.
I think if you have, like, people helping you, like assistants, this would be a really good system for that.
Oh, for sure.
Because, you can just give them numbers.
Because it's not wrong.
Be like, it's not wrong.
As long as you don't mess it up when you put it in there.
That's true.
But I was careful.
Have the preemptive work done. But as long as you've done that, like, it's really hard for them to mess something like that up.
For sure, yeah. And it's so much nicer because I'm not unfolding things. I can just dump the bin out if I need to find something really fast.
Yep.
And I can throw it all back in 5 seconds.
That's another thing I liked about it, too, is I could just shove stuff around and not worry about unfolding it or getting it crinkled.
And it's not getting dirty.
Yeah, it's not getting dirty. It won't smell like our garage.
Our garage doesn't smell.
I know, but if you had a spot where it would smell, it would protect you from it. So
yeah. But yeah, I'm really enjoying that. I have a lot more work to do with it. Just life. So yeah, it's going a lot better, I think.
Yeah. We did have a couple problems this past week that's kind of held up our progress. But first of all, and most important, our puppy broke her little leg.
She broke her leg.
And
it's so sad.
Yeah.
So I've been, just trying to get her through that.
Yeah.
It's been a long week for us.
Yeah.
Poor thing.
Yeah. So she has a little puppy cast.
Oh, it's so sad. It's pink and they put a little heart on it.
Yeah.
And, it's heartbreaking. It's awful. But, and then I was trying to print labels the other day and our internet was being weird and I couldn't print. So I had to go to my in-laws' house and print things, and Kevin was all frustrated at me because I was like, Kevin, you need to fix it. And he was like, it's not my fault.
It just shows us how important having that solid internet connection is for everything we do. I mean, obviously you need it to go on eBay, list the stuff, but also when you're getting down to, the shipping of it, the finding the stuff, like that's, we have a wireless printer and we need internet to work for our wireless printer to work.
Yeah.
So,
it wasn't like our internet wasn't working. It kept disconnecting for some reason. And the printer just was like, forget it. It's not seeing the network.
Screw
and
you.
I'm like sitting here in a hurry. I have like an hour and a half before the post office closes. And I'm like,
See, the thing I've learned is that printers can smell fear.
Yeah, they seriously
if
can.
You need something like a school paper or something done on time, they will not work. And
no.
They know it.
It's bad. Yeah. It's so bad. And then eBay was being super, super glitchy yesterday and today. So like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I feel like there's been just like every time I try to print a label, it's like, oh, not available. Or
I mean, you think that's affected our sales, haven't you? Like,
I want to say yes, but I don't know.
Yeah. I know you heard that some people were saying that online.
Yeah, because eBay was being really glitchy. It was like closing stuff and they're updating. So we got a message they were doing some updates or something.
Okay.
So
yeah.
I mean, that happens. And, it's an older website. People expect that. It's going to happen. That happens with any website, though.
It does. And, I mean, you can expect slower sales because if people click on something that's not working, they will stop and come back to it later.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, but just printing shipping labels is really important and you have to have it done. We're next day and when I try to print those and it's not working, I get kind of frantic.
Yeah.
So
it just, helps us have a better perspective of those people who don't have reliable internet. Like our internet is usually reliable most of the time. Wouldn't you say?
Let's be real. Kevin, you pay for very expensive internet.
I do. I pay for the best.
It's awful. It's terrible.
It's great. What are you talking about?
You know how much money we could save a month if you did it?
But you would hate it.
Yeah, I know.
You say that now.
Slow internet is the worst.
But yeah, if we had bad internet, you would hate it, and then you'd tell me to pay the money again, so it worked again.
I want like instant.
Yeah, which is what we pay for. So
yeah, but yeah, you're right. I mean, it is really, really important if you have an online business that you have reliable
connection to the world. Yeah. And props to those people out there who don't have that, who are still making it happen, because I'm sure that's a major headache they have to deal with almost all the time.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I can't imagine.
Yeah.
Just the printer not working out.
I know. That was enough.
I'm done. Let's quit. I'm just joking. I didn't really think that. But I was really frustrated.
You were. Yeah.
Because I was in a hurry.
Yeah.
I just wanted, I feel like I put off printing, labels sometimes too late. And
you do. You wait till too late in the day, and then you start to get stressed out.
Again, life. Anyway,
more
it's fine.
Procrastination, but that's okay.
Yeah, sometimes I don't look forward to printing labels.
Okay, yeah.
Mostly I don't look forward to, pulling the stuff.
Yeah, that's the hardest part.
Because it takes a while. I mean, it doesn't take long. It's getting a lot faster.
Would you say that's, the least fun part of the process?
No, I love shipping, normally.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, I just go through phases where I'm like, I don't know. I just don't want to do it.
What is the least fun part for you?
Sitting down and actually working.
Doing the listings or taking photos?
I don't know. I don't mind it.
Yeah.
But I do have 100 drafts sitting there that need to be finished.
Why? What needs finished? What part of them?
You're looking at me like I'm crazy.
Oh, I'm wait a second here.
Because I don't have a problem making drafts. It's completing it. So there'll be one part that I just haven't done for whatever reason, and it just sits there.
Okay.
I'm going to get better about it.
Okay.
I mean, people would love to have 100 drafts just sitting there. Maybe I'm saving them for vacation.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, we'll go with that
that's one. That's a good one. Yeah. No, it's mostly they're sitting there because I didn't do the measurements at the time because I was doing it a different way. Mm-hmm. And so I was waiting to take pictures of the measurements. But I've decided that I'm just gonna do the measurements and not take pictures anymore because it's a whole nother step.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I'm working on it. I'm now doing the listings as I'm making the drafts. So I mean, the listing process is ever changing for everyone, I feel like, and I'm just finding a groove.
And you just got to adapt to it and find what works for you. As
right.
we've said before, find that if it's doing it from your phone or from the computer or whatever.
Yep. So now I'm doing everything pretty much on the computer except for adding the photos at the end from my phone. So
you're still doing that step?
Adding the pictures from my phone?
Yeah.
It's like 1,000 times faster than the computer.
Okay.
Just because I don't want to have to click and like crop on the computer, I can just drag my fingers and do it on the phone.
That's true. Yeah.
It's just way easier.
And you can just tap on them instead of having to upload them.
And upload and wait for them to upload. And it's just easier. I just save the draft and then upload the pictures.
Okay, so. That's cool.
But I'm doing the measurements as I'm creating the draft now.
Okay.
It's way better.
I remember when I did eBay by myself, the thing I didn't like the most was the shipping because I'm just not good at it.
Saw that. Like, I get it. You're not,
I'm not artsy or crafty.
You don't have to be artsy or crafty. You just have to use tape.
I know. It's just, that's still too much.
Yeah. No, I don't know. You could do it.
I could. It just was my least favorite part. Like, I liked buying the stuff. I loved the photos because I'm a photographer.
Yeah.
I love to take photos of things. To the extent where I did too many photos and I wasted too much time on it. And listing the stuff was okay, but the shipping part was just what I disliked the most.
See, that's the one I would like choose.
Yeah.
Other than I do like creating listings when I get in a groove, but sometimes I just absolutely hate it too.
Yeah.
Depends on the day.
I mean, everyone's going to have their own thing they love and they hate about it.
For sure. But you have to do it all if
that's
you're going to do it.
You got to be diverse if you're going to do it. So.
For sure. And you should really know how to ship in case
I know how to ship. It's just I didn't like it. It wasn't my preferred thing.
Okay, question.
Whoa.
Let's quiz time.
Oh, no.
Say I sold a clothing item that you weighed and it was over 16 ounces. How are you going to ship it?
I'm going to go with a padded flat rate envelope.
Yay! Applause.
Did I
See,
pass?
you do know. Yeah.
Okay, all right. See?
Okay, padded flat rate for the win.
All right.
Always. But, okay, I was just curious.
Okay.
I taught you well.
Do I get a gold star?
Yes.
Okay.
Very much.
I've always wanted one.
You got one today.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. At the fair.
Yeah. So, moving on.
Do we have any fun finds for the last couple weeks or anything like that?
So, last week, you mean?
Yes, last week. So,
yesterday, I haven't really sourced much this past week.
You did find some stuff last night you were talking to me about.
I'm not done yet.
Okay, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to cut you off.
You cut me off.
I'm sorry.
Okay, now you gave it up. Okay, so I haven't sourced much this last week. You just be quiet.
Okay.
But last night I went out and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to a different thrift store I don't normally go to, because I don't like how they label their clothing.
What do you mean by that?
So they have signs that's like t-shirts this price, tank tops this price, long sleeve shirts this price. But then they sneakily put price tags on some of their items when they want to get more for it.
Ah.
And I don't notice sometimes because they're not easy to find.
Yeah.
And then I get to the register and they're like, oh yeah, by the way, this one's $8.
Yeah. That sucks.
Yeah. But I was like, okay, forget it. I'm just going to go look. So I went. And I realized the prices are actually really good. Like, they're, like, at least $2 or $3 cheaper than Goodwill.
Wow.
So that's awesome. And they have a lot, so I feel like I could find quite a bit. So, after I went through a couple racks, one of the first things I found was a Lululemon tank top.
You love that?
Excited.
Lululemon.
It does have one blemish, but I am pretty sure I can get it out.
Okay.
If I can't, I will sell it anyway.
Okay.
But it's not like one of the like super popular ones, but it's a nice one. So what else did I find? Oh, and then the second thing I found, a Free People dress, brand new with tags. I was so excited. I've never found Free People new with tags.
Didn't you say that one was worth around $60?
No, like $80 to $100.
$80 to $100. Oh my gosh.
It was originally marked at the store for $50, but it was on sale.
How much?
$20. Yeah.
Nice.
It has some runs in it, but they're not super obvious, I'm pretty sure. Just from, like, being stored, some fabrics are really fragile. So I think I can still sell it for quite a bit.
You think around 60, 70, or more 80 to 100, like what it's
80
actually.
to 100, maybe.
Oh,
There's
man.
none in that color listed. They have all sold because
That's
it's really,
awesome.
really popular.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping it still sells.
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
Yeah, it's really nice. And then I just like found a bunch of just normal stuff. Some Chicos and like
Other good stuff.
Other good stuff.
You were texting me telling me, you found some great stuff, and that's always a good sign.
Yeah, and like some Anthropologie. Nothing like worth a ton other than those two finds, but
yeah.
Some Athleta pants. They're an older one, but I sold actually about 3 things last night that I've sold before. So there were these leggings, an Athleta pair of pants, and an Ann Taylor tank top I sold for quite a bit.
So just some more bread and butter stuff, it sounds like.
But like I'm liking that I can find things that I've sold before, and I'm like, oh yeah, I know that's going to get me this much.
I know exactly what this is worth. Yeah, which is nice.
Yep. So that was exciting.
Yeah. What are our numbers so far this week?
Okay, so today's not super fantastic. I think because it's the end of the month and people are running out of money.
That's true.
Or
so
have.
Are we.
Yeah, after the puppy incident.
Oh, man.
Thank goodness we had some savings.
Yeah, that was real expensive.
We've never spent that much money in a day, I don't think, other than when we bought a car.
Yeah.
Terrible. But anyway, today our sales are 75, but it's still pretty early, so we could have some more sales today. The last 7 days are 885, so we're getting we're getting closer to our $1,000 a week again. And our last 31 days are 3,658,
which is good. We
had the reason it's so much lower than last week is because we had our big auction day that was like $800 or something. It fell off the end of the 31 days. Mm-hmm. So
yeah. So now, I mean, our graph looks better now because we don't have just like one large spike.
We're very focused on how our graph looks. Because before it was like this one day was up in the 800s and then the rest are like way down.
Yeah, and it's always like, I'll never be as good as that day.
No, but really, it's just how the graph looks.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean,
good numbers.
We're doing okay.
Yeah, good numbers.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to hit exactly where we wanted for this month.
No, because of vacation, because of the crazy week we've had. Yeah. I mean, we have just, it's not been good.
But, it's still overall been a decent month. And we'll see. It's not over. We still got 2 more days, 1 more day, I think.
1 more day.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. But, like, that's the awesome part. I know I say this a lot, but that's like the awesome part of eBay is it really gives you the flexibility. If there's a problem or if you need a day off, like you have it.
Yeah.
And yeah, you may pay for it in the end, but at that point, I mean, what else are you going to do?
I mean, it's just like any other job, whereas if you take a day off from work,
you're going to get paid less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but this lets us pick the days we get to take off, which are really important to us.
Yeah. A lot of the time it doesn't, affect your day, but then it will catch up with you at some point.
Yeah.
So anyway, since we've already talked about that so many times, and it's just one of those things that I'm always grateful for, because like I would have had to take a day off of if I worked out of the house, and that just would have been really inconvenient, whereas eBay is just flexible.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's talk about our main topic of the week, the buyer's perspective.
What is the buyer's perspective?
Kevin created this big title and he really likes it.
I like it. I think it's great.
It is good. I mean, so why we're talking about the buyer's perspective is because this week I've been really trying to buy on eBay. Mm-hmm. I wanted some new stuff. We're going on a trip and I wanted a couple new shirts and a dress and whatever. And I got 2 things I ordered in the same week, 2 different buyers, and they both came in horrible condition. Like, they had stains, they were really worn, and I was just, like, it made me pause, and I was like, this sucks, like...
Well, because we've always seen things from the seller's perspective.
Right, I don't buy on eBay normally. I mean, we don't very often.
Yeah.
Our
mindset is the seller.
Right.
Yeah.
And
so it's interesting to flip that around and be like, okay, I'm the buyer. How do I feel having received something?
Right. So both items I was requesting returns with because I was like, there's no way I'm going to wear this. Like, it has a stain right down the front. So,
and you feel those
because I paid a lot for it.
Yeah, and they weren't adequately shown in like the photos of the description.
And they weren't described.
Yeah.
So basically, my first thing was I was frustrated that I paid so much for something that was in the condition it was. Like, they shouldn't have been selling it for that much.
Yeah. I mean, maybe if it was cheaper, you wouldn't have been quite as upset.
Yeah, because then, it's a $10 whatever. But this was a $30 top. Like, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So,
you want something you can actually wear.
Yeah, I want something that I can wear and not be like, oh, I was really disappointed with this. Like, I want to wear it and be happy with it. So, I requested returns, and I was like, yeah, I'm not a person who's like going to leave bad feedback or anything. And I never said anything, but I ended up, returning them, and that was fine. But it just made me think so much about how when we sell things, like, you really want your customer to be happy.
Yeah, when they open that box or that bag, whatever it is,
yeah,
you want a smile to come to their face.
Right. They want to be like, oh, this is even better than I thought. Like,
yeah.
You want to under-describe or over-describe what you have so that they understand the condition.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was so let down. Like, 2 days in a row, I opened a package, and like, getting mail's super exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anyone else thinks
Well, because it's, people don't get mail that much anymore.
No.
Everything's online. So when you actually get a physical thing, it's cool. Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah. And another thing, like, this was a positive part of it. They both came priority, and like, I was so glad. Like, it was super fast, it was like 2 days and it was at my door. But going back to that, you really want your customer to be excited about what they have and not disappointed. And I think that has affected how I was listing this week. Like, if there's a problem, I'm like over describing it, you know?
And people think, oh, you might lose sales, but you're just going to create a headache for yourself.
Yeah, because you're going to get returns.
You're going to get a return. Someone's going to be like, this wasn't described to me the way I wanted it.
And you're probably, like, you will affect their choice later to go back to eBay.
Yeah.
I mean, if they have negative experience, people aren't going to want to purchase on eBay anymore.
Well, and that's so important, too, as a seller. If you want to build up any sort of audience, which is so hard on eBay, if you want to build up an audience who continuously buys stuff from you, you need to have an overwhelming positive reaction the first time they buy something from you.
Definitely.
Because it can't just be an it's okay or a negative. It has to be so overwhelmingly positive that they're like, I'm going to follow that seller. Because that's something they have to go out of their way to do.
Right. Even if they are disappointed with what they get, your customer service should be good enough that they're okay coming back.
Yeah, that's the other part. Even if there is a problem, you need to make sure that you are on top of it. That way that they'll be happy and they won't leave bad feedback. They'll come back again. They'll at least consider you in future transactions because they'll be like, they treated me so great last time. Yes, it wasn't exactly what I wanted, but I feel comfortable knowing that if I bought from them again.
Or not just us, on eBay.
On eBay, just in general, because we want to promote the community.
Right. It's funny, I was talking to my sister about eBay, and she was like looking for some ski stuff for next year. And I was like, look on eBay, like what? She was on Amazon, and I was like, you can get a better deal on eBay. And she's like, really? There aren't returns on eBay? And I was like, no, there are returns on eBay. Like, people have these views, that like eBay's for old people, collectors, or eBay doesn't have returns, or people can just sell anything in bad condition. And that's not true. eBay has your back. Like, you're gonna be okay.
I think it's just people's misconceptions about others who have had bad service.
Exactly, because, I mean, ask people about eBay, and there's going to be someone who's like, ah, but really, sorry.
Maybe you shouldn't talk to that person anymore.
Maybe not. But, I think that, and I want to say both of those sellers had pretty good, like, the first one definitely had really good customer service and was like, oh, I'm so sorry, and took care of it really quickly. The second one took a couple days, which was my other thing, was like, if you're requesting a return, try to do it, like, fast, because those people have already paid. I mean, they want to get their money back.
Yeah, so respond to return requests quickly.
Yeah, definitely, because if you're just sitting on it, I mean, what's the point? For one, you're going to do it. I don't know. It was just frustrating because I was like 3 days that I was waiting, and I was like, okay, well, I need to use that money to buy the same top from a different seller, basically.
Yeah.
But I couldn't do that because I was waiting.
I think it's important to have in place guidelines of what you're going to do to handle returns. That way you don't have to wait a few days. And I'm not sure if this is what that person did, but you don't have to wait to think about what you're going to do with the return. You know when a return comes in for X, Y, and Z, this is what you're going to do.
Right. And I think most of the time we are okay with that. I could probably be a little bit faster, but sometimes it's a problem of being at the computer because I like to be able to do it so I can see everything on the computer.
All the details of the transaction.
Correct.
Just easier on that big screen.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot easier on the computer for me to issue a refund than on the mobile app. But, I mean, I'm getting better with it. I'm just not as comfortable on the mobile app because I feel like I can't see everything.
Well, I mean, you think of any other sort of retailer like Amazon. If I get something and I don't like it and I email Amazon, they will respond within like 24 hours.
Yeah.
Like
it's
prompt
fast.
customer service. Even if it's an answer I don't like,
yeah,
I would still prefer an answer sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I think 24 hours is fine. I was talking to, I don't remember who it was, about doing automatic returns, and I think that that's a really good idea. Oh, that was on Reseller Revolution. They were talking about how you can set your account to do automatic if someone requests a return just because it doesn't fit them or something. Automatically, eBay will be like, okay, send it back to them. Here's your label.
We haven't set that up, though.
No, I want to.
You want to? Okay, yeah. I was going to ask why we haven't done that.
Up to a certain dollar amount, you can do that, and you just don't have to do anything. It'll just come back to you.
That's nice. So that, again, just streamlines the process.
Right. And that's not like if someone's doing an item not as described or something. Clearly, that wouldn't be automatic.
Because those you want to dive into a little deeper, make sure, what's going on, figure out the details, all that kind of stuff.
But, I mean...
For something as simple as this didn't fit me, there's a pretty easy process.
Taking those back anytime.
And they pay the restocking fee and the return shipping, so we don't have to worry about any of that kind of stuff.
No, and those are super easy. And I think it would be nice just to have that set up so it's an instant return for them.
Yeah.
Definitely. So I think, we're just stressing again, customer service. It is so important because you're affecting an entire community, not just... your store.
It's almost as important as the products you sell.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how Amazon became so big, is because they had such great customer service.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, on eBay, yes, you have feedback. It's more than just feedback. It's your ability to respond to people quickly and to know what you're going to do when a situation arises. That way, hopefully, both parties will be satisfied.
Correct, yeah. I just, it's so easy to just, go off at someone because returns suck.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
And especially, this is our livelihood.
Yeah.
It's even more so important for us to make money from this. And so I feel like sometimes people are like, this is my thing, and if you attack it, I'm going to lash out at you. But you can't be that way in customer service and retail. You have to be like, okay, let's figure out something. Even if the customer is being a bit of a jerk, you got to still just put on your best face and try to find a way to make them happy.
But another thing, so I've been shopping online a lot this week, I want to say. It's not good.
Our credit card. Oh, no.
No, it's fine. I haven't spent much. But I made my first order on Poshmark. I've been looking for these shorts. I really like them. I wear them all the time.
What is Poshmark, for those who don't know?
Online clothes selling app. It's just an app on the phone. It's not like a website or anything.
And it's used clothes or new clothes?
Used or new, yeah.
So kind of like eBay, but just a little bit different.
It's more just clothes.
Just clothes.
Yeah, okay. I believe. There's some accessories, but that's it. So I made my first order on there, and it was so great. I totally get what people are talking about. So you do it all on your phone, so it's really simple.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not selling on there or anything because I'm not ready for that. But so basically all you do is when you find the item you want to buy, you literally I clicked on Apple Pay. It took 5 seconds and I was done. And it was here 2 days later.
Yeah, that's nice.
Which is dangerous, by the way. Because now I'm oh, it was so simple.
Yeah.
But
I'll get 20 more.
Yeah, but their customer service was great because the girl I was buying from, I sent her a couple questions and she answered super fast, and it was really nice, and that's the kind of service you want. You want to buy it from people like that. And I've even looked at her store since then and was oh, I might like this, so it's kind of cool.
I think one important thing you had in there that we haven't really ever gone over is Apple, how you're able to use Apple Pay.
Yeah, that
was
just
awesome. So quick, so easy. I mean, PayPal is all right.
Yeah.
But eBay does, I think, now let you use credit card for buying stuff. But the payment structure of eBay isn't really that streamlined, in my opinion. Because sometimes they force you to get that PayPal account.
Well, because people are always having problems with their PayPal.
Yeah, and they're like, I'll pay you
how many messages did I get
a week?
this week?
Yeah, because I can't figure out my PayPal. It's I really wish that eBay would streamline that part of the process.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, I can put my finger to my phone and have Apple Pay or Android Pay or whatever just do it for me. Or
are you sure they don't do that now? I don't think.
I don't think so. No, because we can't accept that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but you're right, because how many messages do I get a week that say my PayPal address is wrong? Please send it to this address.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I had like 4 messages this week that were like that. And I almost sent one of them to the wrong address just because it's not updated in PayPal, and I forgot to look at it.
And we're still covered if we do that kind of shipping
I don't
change.
think so. Not if they message you and you said you're going to do it.
Okay, so should we not be doing that?
No. What do you think?
That we're not covered under the eBay.
No, we are, because it's in a message.
Okay, so it is covered under the self-protection.
eBay will back you up if they're asking you to do something.
Okay,
so.
But it's kind of unfortunate that they have to keep emailing us and be like, hey, actually ship it here or ship it there, because they haven't updated their PayPal information, which is so convoluted sometimes to get it
definitely
the way you want.
That's the way they have it set up, and I mean, it does work for the most part, but it's just difficult sometimes, for sure.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed using Poshmark. I'm gonna use it again for myself, definitely, which makes me kind of want to look into it. But I am not a social media person. I don't know.
What do you mean by that?
I don't want to, on there you have to have discussions with people. Like, people ask you a bunch of questions, and it's about having a following, and I'm just not that person.
Our Instagram is up to 670 followers.
I haven't been posting that much though, and I feel bad because sometimes it's just such a hassle.
It is. It totally is.
It takes me a couple minutes to make a post.
Yeah, it's something you have to do so consistently that if you forget for a day or two, I mean, that's bad. So it's really hard to.
I forget all the time.
I know, but I mean, if you want consistent growth, you have to be constantly doing stuff.
On Poshmark, it's more, at least from what I understand, it's more about selling the brands and having, those young people want those brands, and then they're following you.
So you can follow a person in Poshmark, follow a store per se.
If they're following you, just like they would on Instagram.
I see. Okay.
I'm not sure. I don't fully understand it. I'm not sure I don't think we're going to do. I don't know.
You talked about it.
Yeah, we talked about it. Everyone talks about it.
Everyone talks about stuff.
I feel like my time is spent on eBay, and that's where it needs to stay right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really enjoying shopping on there, so that just makes me question I don't know.
Question everything you know.
Question my life. Yeah. But for sure, if you haven't tried out Poshmark, definitely check it out. It's pretty cool.
I mean, it might be a great place to buy inventory, if nothing else. I don't know. Yeah. No? Okay, then forget everything I said.
I don't know. I saw some things that were cool, though.
Okay.
We'll see.
Yeah.
It's definitely a lot more there's a lot of people just taking pictures of their clothes on the floor or on their bed. I don't love that.
Not quite as professional.
But, there are professional sellers on there for sure.
Yeah.
But there's just a lot of people that are oh, I need to get rid of some old clothes. And so it's easy enough for just a normal person to do it. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So, we're just, to wrap it up, we're kind of just wanting everyone to just be sure, what you're selling, make sure that it's described well, make sure that it's quality. You don't want your buyers to be disappointed. Yeah,
and take good photos. You don't have to go all crazy.
No.
Just
show defects.
Yeah, show defects in your photos.
Don't be afraid. Yeah. People will still buy your stuff.
Because they're going to see it sooner or later. So you want it to be sooner rather than later.
You don't want to surprise them.
Yeah, surprise.
Surprising them.
It's broken.
Not good, for sure. But, I would have considered buying that shirt for less money. The shirt that I bought, if it had a stain on it, I still probably would have bought it.
And you would have kept it. But now you didn't. And they had to pay for shipping to you and back from here. So it's
kind of a bummer. But, it was just a real eye-opener this week. And, if you're an eBay seller, buy on eBay. eBay is great. Support other sellers, because I think that's really important. And
it's like buying local. Support the community you're a part of. Because, if you buy local, you're supporting your local community. If we buy from eBay, we're supporting our eBay community. It's kind of the same,
Which is kind of our life.
Yeah.
So.
Same concept, just,
Yeah. So, I just want to stress that. Because it was it was extremely disappointing for me. And it was a hassle to return stuff. I hate that. You don't want people to have to send things back to you.
Yeah. They won't be happy.
No. I don't want to go to the post office any more than I already do. So, And so this week I'm going to be on Reseller Revolution again, and we're gonna have a guest this week. Nicole is gonna be on vacation, so we're having a third guest. It's gonna be really fun, so you guys should check that out. It's gonna be Thursday at 7 Pacific. Is that correct? Yeah. And it should be really fun. So
how can they find it? Is it YouTube?
It's on YouTube, yeah.
YouTube?
Under Reseller Revolution.
Okay.
There should be a live hangout. So that's exciting. I love doing that. I think it's really fun. It's a good way to like connect with the community and whatnot. So
yeah. And just another way for us to share what we've learned with everybody else and just come together.
It's super chill. It's not like any official thing. We're just all sitting in our offices or in our living rooms talking. So, it's fun. It can be kind of goofy too. We have a lot of technical problems sometimes. We're working on it. Just, it's just cool. It's fun to like, because there's a chat happening while we're talking. And so, I mean, it's hard to type and talk at the same time, but we try to kind of get involved with everything. So
yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
That way to get like instant feedback to what you just said and have a conversation with it. So
yeah,
it's always nice.
Yeah, for sure. So, and you can find us
at thevalleyexchange.com. You can find us on our Instagram, The Valley Exchange. You can find us on YouTube, The Valley Exchange.
Okay. It's
and
all
Facebook,
The Valley Exchange.
The Valley Exchange.
Although Facebook doesn't have anything on it.
It has some stuff.
Not much. Kevin's dreaming still.
You said that last time.
I know, because you're still dreaming about it. But
I will continue to dream.
I'm not going to invest my time.
I've got a dream.
Kevin, you do not have a dream.
I have dreams.
Anyway, tomorrow, okay, so before we wrap this up, we need to talk about our week. We haven't done that yet.
I know. I was wondering if we are going to talk about that.
Sorry.
We're just like skipping right over it.
Yeah, okay. So,
do we have any plans for this upcoming week? What are they?
Tomorrow.
What's tomorrow?
I am back on Lysine.
Yeah.
I am. Our puppy is doing better. I have time. She's not crying anymore.
That's true.
I'm so sad. So I'm back on Lysine. I'm going to try to source a little bit. I'm going to get through some more death piles.
Sounds like a normal week.
That is a normal week.
Yeah.
But I'm back on tomorrow. So
back to work.
Back on it.
And then in a couple of weeks, our vacation draws near.
1 month.
1 month.
I'm so excited. So I really do need to get to listing.
Yeah,
so
that way we'll have plenty of stuff.
Definitely. That's about it. I mean, it's just a normal eBay week. We're hoping, sales pick up.
All the stuff.
We'll see.
All the things.
Going for $150 a day. That's my new goal.
All right. So we upped it from 100 then?
Well, I want 100, but 150 is like a great day.
The goal. Okay.
150 is a great day.
It is a great day.
Yeah.
Today is a great day.
Today is a great day. We had fun today.
We did.
Yeah. The fair.
The fair was fun.
Oh, the fair is so trashy though.
It is. But it's
we were walking around and we're like, oh, I don't know. We watched pig races.
It was great.
It was great. I've never seen that before. I don't remember it. Anyway, it was fun.
It was pretty fun.
Cute.
Our pig did not win the race, so.
No, I was rooting for it. What was his name?
I don't know, Klondike or something?
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah.
It was cute. But anyway, so we're going to wrap it up, but we'll be back next week. We're going to try for Tuesday, but
again, we'll try.
It's hard because, it takes time. Yeah. So we're shooting for Tuesday, but it might happen Wednesday. So sorry about that.
Just,
be flexible.
Your iPhone will tell you when we're available. So.
All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.